Alright, hey, this is Yendor here. Want to go into right now explaining how to do the psychological force. Now, I believe I have a performance video on my channel of that, so I'm going to put a link on the video here somewhere to that performance video, and then I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to do that. So, before I teach it, I want to give a little history on how I developed the technique to do that. So, actually started from watching Darren Brown, some Darren Brown stuff. If you know Darren Brown, or if you don't, you can go and search him on YouTube. There's a lot of videos. He does a lot of like NLP type things, but there's things where he does some subliminal forcing things, and you can actually see him doing it, and it's basically the same thing that I'm going to show you here. He does a lot where he'll ask them to think of a number or a card, and he'll do things with his hands, and when he's doing that, he's telling you, think if there's a screen there, and when he's doing that, he's actually sending a subliminal message out. So I've actually watched him do this, and after watching that, I've seen a little bit of what he does, and I developed kind of my own way of doing that. So it's, almost exactly like he does it, but it's a little bit different. So what I want to do is just go over kind of the techniques that I use to achieve that type of effect. Okay, so I'm going to talk about forcing a playing card on someone. Okay, there's a couple of cards that are easy to do. The 3 of diamonds, the 4 of diamonds, the 3 of hearts, and the 4 of hearts. The more easy ones to do. But you can do almost any card as long as you can figure out a way to show that card with your hands. Okay, so here is how we do the 3 of diamonds. In performance, it would look like this. I'd say something like. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you think of a card. Okay, now this can be any card in the deck of cards. But what I want you to do is in a moment, I'm not actually going to have you think of the card because that would be too obvious, right? Maybe you could name an obvious card like one of the aces or one of the face cards, So even though those are the most obvious cards, I want you to get rid of those because those are really obvious. So get rid of all the aces and get rid of all the face cards because those are too easy, right? So I want to make it something like that'd be really hard for me to think of, to just say that you would just think of that right off the top of your head, right? So the way we're going to do it is almost going to be as if there's like, like a screen right in front of you, okay? And on that screen you can actually see the shape of the card, you can see the bright colors of the card, you can see you can see the like down the middle, you can see the like the boom boom boom, or the dots or the pips like going down center. And then like in the corner, like down in the corner, you can see the number, and it should come to you right about now. You have a card. And usually, knowing what I'm trying to do, that might seem like, well, that's kind of obvious, right? I've done this to people. I've never had someone say, "Oh, I saw you showing me your 3s," and I've never had that. But I've had someone, I have almost every person say 3 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds. Now, you need to think of situations where you're going to use this. You don't want to use this somewhere where it's very loud or noisy, okay? So if you're doing this in a restaurant or something, it's probably not going to be the best because you don't want to be in a noisy or loud place. It's just going to make it a lot harder for people to hear what you're saying, and it's really based on hearing what you're saying and seeing what you're doing. So you really need to keep both of those senses in check, okay? So it's better for maybe something that's a controllable thing. Maybe you're walking down the street and you stop someone and you do it to them, or it's in a close-up show you're doing, or a stage show that you're doing, okay? So that's ways to actually use this. Now, to start off, the first thing is how you're going to get them to think of the card. Now, you start out by eliminating some cards just to start with to make your odds a little bit better, okay? So you tell them right off the bat, you say, I'm going to have you name a card in a moment. You don't say I'm going to have you think of a card. You say I'm going to have you name a card in a moment. Okay. Now, when you name that card, you're not going to think of a card because that would make it too obvious. Okay. So you're giving a reason why you're telling them to visualize what you're showing them in their mind. Okay. So you say, again, you're not going to think of a card. Okay. You're just going to say a card. Okay. So the way we're going to do that is actually, I want you to get rid of the aces and the face cards because those are the more obvious cards that would be selected, right? So I'm letting them tell me that that's right. So it puts into their mind that, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying, that makes sense, right? So they're agreeing with you and they're going to go along with this. It's kind of like when you do hypnosis, you need that hypnotic contract where you have to have someone agree with what you're telling them. So this is kind of that agreement and that hypnotic contract type thing, okay? So you say, I want you to get rid of the aces and the face cards because those are too obvious, right? Okay, good. So now what we're going to do is, actually, like I said, you're not going to just name any random card, okay? You're not going to think of a card. It's going to come to you almost as if like there's a screen right in front of you. So what I did is almost as if there's a screen right in front of you. And I actually make a diamond with my hands, okay? So I go screen. I'll do it 2, maybe 3 times, probably 2, and then I draw the diamond, okay? And I'll show you what that looks like. I go, so it'll be almost like if there's like a screen right up in front of you, and on that screen you actually see the shape of the card, and you can see the bright colors of the card, okay? So I'm doing it quickly, and I'm doing it subtly, okay? So I'm saying screen, and on that screen you're going to see the shape of the card. So I go boom, boom, diamond. You're going to see the shape of the card. You're going to see the bright colors of the card. Bright is going to suggest red into their mind. Red, because it's either red or black. The only bright color is red. The dark color would be black. So if you're going to do a spade or a club, you would say you'll see the dark colors of the card, right? So, so you say you'll see the bright colors of the card. You even like, and what I do is I try to make it like I don't know what I'm saying, so I can hold this up more. And they're not really focusing on what I'm doing here. They're focusing on what I'm saying. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of stutter. I'm gonna say, you'll see like down the middle, you'll see now the other card was something down the middle, and this kind of even looks like a 3 when you hold it here, right? So, and the other card with something down the middle is a 3, and with a boom, 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 you know, it just gives that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in their head. So it's, you'll see on the card, you'll see like down the middle, you'll see the dots or the spots or the pips like right down the middle of the card. And you'll see that there, and you'll see like the boom, boom, boom right down the middle. And then in the corner, so I say you'll see that down the middle. Then I say, and in the corner, and I draw a 3 with my fingers. So I say, and in the corner, like down in the corner, suggesting a lower number, I say down. So I kind of emphasize that word down. So I say, you'll see in the corner, like down in the corner, you'll see the 3, and that should come to you right about now. Now what I do there is I snap, okay? What that snap's going to do, it's kind of like the universal symbol for hurry up, you gotta be quick, right? So if you say, you should have that card right in your head about now. If they haven't been thinking of a card there, the first card that's going to come in their head is going to be that 3, because it's just, that's what they were visualizing in their mind. If they were genuinely following what you're telling them to do, and they were really visualizing what you said them, what you were saying for them to visualize, they should be visualizing a 3 of diamonds in their head. So it's really good to get someone that's more of a suggestible person. So by doing some suggestibility tests, if you can, I mean, you can find them anywhere online. Probably a ton of them up on YouTube. I'm going to be putting some on my hypnosis channel here pretty soon, so you can always check that out. So, you know, find someone that's more suggestible, because they're really going to follow it, or someone that's, you really know that they're more willing to go with everything that you say and just follow you along genuinely. And sometimes I'll even ask that when I start out. I'll say, okay, I'm going to try something with you, okay? But once you do this, will not work unless you just genuinely do exactly what I say, okay? So if I say something like that, usually people will go along and say, okay, I'll just do it. I'll genuinely follow what you say to do, okay? So that is basically the psychological force. That's the basic method for it. Another thing you can do is any other card. Like if you want to do a heart, the way I would suggest the heart is to go here and you can draw the heart like that. Okay, so I'd say something like, you're going to see in front of you, you're going to see like a screen right in front of you, and on that screen you're going to see the shape of the card. You're also going to see the bright colors of the card. You're going to see like down the middle, like right down the middle, and I put my hand over my heart like I say. Or you can say, you'll see like a screen, almost there's a screen like right in front of you, you'll just see it right there, right in front of you. So I kind of put my hand over my heart, and it just symbolizes heart, and it gets people thinking of heart. It's a little bit more subtle than the diamond, but it still goes off rather well. If you're doing a 4, one thing I would say is you'll see the shape of the card, and I do that and I draw 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So you'll see the shape of the card like in the corner, you'll see like down in the corner, you'll see the number. So I'm actually drawing a 4 when I do that. It goes off very subtly. So there's just some things to think of. It's really up to your imagination what you can do. So that's how you do playing cards. Okay. So that is the psychological force. Thanks a lot.